The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. The tipping point, as Malcolm Gladwell defined, is the moment in which any idea is transferred into a trend, so that it's more like a social or intellectual epidemic that spreads within a group of people like wildfire. If we compare this concept with the way epidemics spread, we will find, for example, that new flu types may start spreading within a limited number of people in a specific area at slow rates at the beginning. And then, the day after the other, more people become infected until we reach that magical moment in which the rates of infection increases in a dangerous way. And this disease becomes an epidemic which is out of control. Nowadays, most of the patterns of the spread of ideas are represented in the spread of technological innovations. One of the first examples on this is the Sharp company that produced the first fax machine sold at reasonable consumer prices in 1984. Sharp sold about 80,000 fax machines in the first year. After that, the number witnessed a continuous rise until 1987, when the fax reached the tipping point and its sales figures went to incredible levels. At that tipping point, many people had a fax machine, which led those who didn't have the machine to feel an urgent need to ride the technology wave and to have their own fax machine. Bit to remember: in the society, ideas spread just as epidemics spread if they crossed the threshold of a particular tipping point. In order to explain the spread of ideas within a social circle, Malcolm Gladwell classifies people into three categories: connectors, mavens, and salesmen. The connectors are the people who have a massive social network. Ideas are often spread by people who have many social relationships. And the connectors are good at communicating with many people of different cultures and experiences. One of the most important advantages of connectors is that they have many weak social connections. In other words, building a massive network of acquaintances from various aspects of life has more value than building close relationships with a limited number of friends. Therefore, anyone who wants to spread an idea through social circles must focus on the social connections that the connectors have, because they are the ones who can succeed in spreading social epidemics. The second type of people are the salesmen. There are some people who are born with traits that help them persuade others with new ideas. Usually, they are the people who think positively and have a lot of energy and enthusiasm. And they differ significantly from others in their nonverbal communications. Salesmen have naturally a special way to express their feelings. Feelings are contagious, and salesmen intend to show them very clearly in order to make others sympathize with them immediately. And as a result, they change their behavior according to the salesman's desire. All these features make these people ideal for spreading ideas and trends. Bit to remember: ideas spread very quickly by the connectors, who are people with wide social networks. And as for the salesmen, they have a natural talent which is persuading and selling ideas. The last type of people who play a major role in spreading ideas are mavens. And mavens are usually characterized by two distinct characteristics. The first is that they know a lot about many different things and products and are constantly analyzing and understanding new information. The second is that they have distinct social skills and they are constantly keen to transfer their knowledge and experience to others. Mavens don't have wide social networks like the ones the connectors have, but they have a great influence on their own social networks, because others trust their information and recommendations. If mavens are confident of a particular product or service, they recommend it to their friends and acquaintances. And as a result of this trust, their friends and acquaintances often tend to follow these recommendations. And here, the maven's strength lies in spreading ideas. The spread of ideas and trends is often credited to a limited number of people. The 80-20 rule describes social phenomena in many societies, where the behavior of 20% of people in a group or a society greatly affects the 80% of the end result. For example, in most societies, 20% of employees do 80% of the work, 20% of criminals commit 80% of crimes, 20% of drivers cause 80% of accidents. Bit to remember: connectors, salesmen, and mavens are three main and essential groups for spreading any idea or social epidemic. The spread of social epidemics depends largely on external conditions, and these external conditions may have very small details. For example, what happened in the mid-1990s when the authorities in New York City were facing a crisis of high crime rates. After a radical analysis of this problem, it was found that its origin was due to small details that seemed harmless at first. The authorities discovered that the wall paintings, the destroyed subway cars, and the evaders of paying the subway car fare were all small details that sent signals to the public that the authorities are not paying attention to the deteriorating situation of the city, and that anyone can do what they want with impunity. In order to control the epidemic, the authorities began to focus on these small details. Offensive drawings have been removed from the walls, and tax evasion has become a punishable crime. Through these actions, it became clear to the public that reckless behavior was no longer acceptable. And as a result, the crime rate decreased rapidly in the following years. The authorities managed to reverse the negative impact of this social epidemic because of some small interventions. Bit to remember: external circumstances have a major impact on people's behavior, and the smallest changes in these circumstances may have a major impact on society. Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also comment below and share your thoughts on our book summary for this week.